Akshay, I was asking you if you could get a word from any of the supporters there on what they have to say about the Madras High Court order.
Well, certainly, Sneha, we can speak to these supporters. Most of the supporters who are here are members who are supporting Edappadi K Palanisawmy, and we can see that all of these people are waiting to enter inside the headquarters, whom they are saying is something that is their right to be, and OPS and his supporters should not. You have come here outside the AIADMK headquarters. What do you want to do? What are your demands?
ஒற்றை தலைமையா நாங்க EPS அவர்களை ஏத்துக்கிறதாக காத்துட்டு இருக்கோம். தீர்மானம் கொண்டு வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் அவர் தான் வருவார் தலைமைக்கு. இப்போ
காலையில இருந்து இங்க சண்டை நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு EPS OPS தரப்புல. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சூழ்நிலை அதிமுகக்கு வரத பத்தி உங்களோட கருத்து என்ன?
OPS ஆதரவாளர்கள் தான் இந்த மாதிரி பண்றாங்க, அராஜகம் பண்றாங்க. முழுக்க அவங்க செய்யறது எல்லாமே கட்சியோட அவப்பேரை கெடுக்கிறதுக்காக பண்றாங்க.
Sneha, just to quickly translate what this gentleman is saying, he was saying that they want a single leadership in the AIADMK, and the kind of scenario that is panned out here, where we had seen people protesting, and the kind of stone pelting, all those things happened. All those are because of the OPS faction, is what we are being told. காலையில நீங்க இருந்தீங்களா இந்த மாதிரி சூழ்நிலை நடந்த போது? என்ன பண்ணாங்க?
அவங்க தான் கல்லு கருங்கல்லு உருட்டுக்கட்ட பைப்பு இதெல்லாம் எடுத்துட்டு நின்னவங்கள ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணி அடிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சது அவங்க தான். அவங்க என்ன பண்றாங்க, குப்பை தொட்டியை தள்ளிட்டே பொம்பளைகளை முதல்ல அனுப்புறானுங்க, அப்பதான் அடிக்க மாட்டேன்னு. உருட்டுக்கட்ட வயசானவங்க எல்லாம் தலையில அடிக்கிறானுங்க பைப் எடுத்து.
So the gentleman was just describing as to what kind of violence panned out in the morning. He said that stone pelting happened. Similarly, people with wooden sticks had started hitting each other, and also that they had brought in pipes, and that was being used to hit people from the other faction, and that's how the violence had started, is what this gentleman just said. And he is blaming the OPS faction for the kind of violence which panned out here. Right now, Sneha, just to show you the images here also, the police officials have barricaded 2 entryways into the AIADMK headquarters, and if my camera person can pan and show you on the left side, you can see at a distance how there is a huge crowd of AIADMK supporters who are just waiting to make their way in. Police officials are once again second barricaded there, and there is a police force standing there, also guard, to ensure that those people at that end don't breach in and come here. It is a very, very tough day for the people here, and as far as the AIADMK is concerned, 2 things are very clear. One is that the resolution for having a single leadership is being taken up, and AIADMK's Edappadi K Palanisawmy has been appointed as the interim general secretary, which is a huge victory for the EPS faction. This was a decision that they had wanted to be made on June 23rd, but unfortunately, due to the court order that OPS was successful to bring in the wee hours on June 23, it was seen that Edappadi K Palanisawmy could not be elected as an interim general secretary back then, but today they have successfully got hold of the post as single leader, which they had been demanding for quite some time now. And secondly, the big question is the fate of O Pannerselvam. Will there be party action against him? What will be his position in the party? Because other than the coordinator of the party, he was also holding the post as the treasurer of the party. So will he continue to be the treasurer of the party, or will he be removed from that position also, is something that we'll have to wait and watch. But one thing is that within the AIADMK itself, we have very clearly understood that there is a huge faction war that has now become OPS versus EPS, and with the kind of violence that was displayed outside the AIADMK headquarters, it is very evident that once again reconciliating between these 2 factions and to bring in a brotherly feeling which they initially carried as a party member, will those be brought back? All those are big questions, but right now at the AIADMK headquarters, we can see how OPS faction members have taken control of the important building, which is the AIADMK headquarters. O Pannerselvam is also inside the headquarters, and since the General Council meeting beginning and since the verdict of the Madras High Court, we have seen that the entire OPS supporters as well as OPS has remained silent. So what will be their next action plan? All those remains a mystery.
I'm just wondering, Why are polls going to be held in the next 4 months or so? Why not almost instantly, given this turbulence and turmoil within the party, Akshay?
Well, Sneha, it is a very, very difficult decision to be done because, you know, these elections within the party are also elections which need to be properly notified to the Election Commission, and a proper date has to be given for the same. And also the party will wait to see if there are any other candidates who are interested to contest apart from Edappadi K Palanisawmy. So, you know, those factors will take a couple of days or more to understand and also to be streamlined. And also party members, those who are eligible to vote, will have to be assembled, and on that particular day they will have to be called for to vote. So all those are a huge task that the party will have to organize and take into account. So that's one of the reasons why they have said that the elections will happen within a period of 4 months, because there will be a lot of planning which is involved, and these are also democratic election procedures which are being followed within the AIADMK. Earlier, when the election to the dual leadership had happened, similarly they had given out a proper notification on day of nomination, day of filing the nominations, and also day of voting and counting. So those procedures, like how a normal election happened, will happen during this time also. So that is one of the reasons why they've given a period of 4 months, but that doesn't mean that that will any time from now they might be taking into account what can be done, and earliest dates will be announced, is what we are being told by the AIADMK leadership also. So at this given point of time, one thing is clear, at least being the interim general secretary of the party, Edappadi K Palanisawmy is vested with a lot of power, and will he be using this power against O Pannerselvam? Those will be the questions that we will have to be looking out for. And similarly, we have very clearly understood that VK Sashikala does not have a place in the party, is what earlier also the EPS faction has been talking about. So will OPS even consider going and shaking hands with her, who falls also from the same community as he is, and also has the same kind of crowd who are supporting him? So, you know, these are things that we'll have to now look at in the near future. Will the faction war become bigger and bigger by every passing day? Those will be the questions that will be staring at the face of the AIADMK party.